Air Jordans are a cultural phenomenon, a symbol of style, athleticism, and let's be honest, a pretty big dent in your wallet. But have you ever wondered what goes into making these legendary kicks? Do they use animal cruelty methods in their shoemaking process? And was it true that Michael Jordan didn't like the shoe that he himself helped design? Stick around, because we're diving into the entire process, from their fascinating history to their state-of-the-art manufacturing. By the end, you'll not only know how Air Jordans are made, you might just want to buy yourself another pair. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and share it with your sneaker-loving friends. Let's lace up and jump right in. Step 1. The history of Air Jordans. First, let's take a look how Air Jordans are made and discuss where it all started before we dive into the details. Air Jordans' history began in 1984 when Nike decided to invest the company's resources in sponsoring none other than Michael Jordan, who at that time was a rookie basketball player. Back then, Nike couldn't make the necessary impact in basketball, while Jordan was wearing Converse sneakers. But then came a game-changing deal. Nike gave Jordan an Air Jordan sneaker line and the privilege of designing the shoes depending on his style of play. That's where the Air Jordan 1 comes in, having been first introduced in 1985. Fun fact, the black and red color scheme was so striking that the NBA banned Jordan from wearing them, saying they were contrary to the rules on jersey designs. Nike did this and then paid all the fines for the shoes and marketed them as Rebels. The rest, as they say, is history, simply because the good that has been done is enough to push the world forward. Now, Air Jordans are not simply athletic shoes. They're symbols of prestige, treasures, and necessities of the urban wear fashion. 3 decades later, the brand still rages on through over 30 models and still eclipses Jordan's famous dunk. Ever wondered what makes Air Jordans so popular even decades after their debut? It's not just the shoes, it's the story. Step 2. Design and development. Creating a new Air Jordan isn't just about slapping together leather and rubber. It's a blend of art and science. Each new model starts with a team of designers brainstorming ideas. They draw inspiration from everything, including Jordan's career highlights, pop culture, and even futuristic technology. The sketches then evolve into 3D renderings. But here's where it gets serious. Performance is non-negotiable. Engineers test every concept to ensure the shoe supports quick cuts, jumps, and landings without sacrificing comfort. They also experiment with new materials like lightweight synthetics and innovative foam to keep the designs cutting edge. You know, they gotta. Once the design is finalized, prototypes are created for wear testing. Machines simulate real basketball moves while actual athletes put the shoes to the test. The goal? Well, a shoe that's as stylish as it is functional. Before we dive deeper, let's talk about the marketing wizardry that made the Air Jordan 1 legendary. Did you know Nike turned a $5,000 fine into a multi-million-dollar campaign? Yeah, back in 1985, the NBA fined Michael Jordan every time he wore the original black and red colorway of the Air Jordan 1, citing uniform violations. Nike paid every single fine and ran with the tagline, "Banned by the NBA." This rebellious branding turned the shoes into an instant cultural icon. The Air Jordan 1 retailed for $65, a fortune for basketball shoes back then. But that didn't stop sneakerheads and basketball fans from clearing shelves. In its first year, the Air Jordan line made over $100 million in revenue, a figure unheard of for sportswear at the time. And let's not forget that some of the most coveted Jordans today, like the Air Jordan 2, almost didn't happen because Jordan himself thought they looked too flashy. Imagine rejecting a shoe that would later sell out worldwide in hours. Step 3. Material sourcing. Now that the design is locked in, it's time to gather the ingredients. And no, we're not talking about flour and sugar. We're talking about top-tier materials. Air Jordans are made with a combination of high-quality leather, synthetic fabrics, foam, and of course, rubber. The leather is sourced from premium suppliers and inspected for quality. Any imperfections, like scars or blemishes, are a no-go. Synthetic fabrics are chosen for breathability and durability, while foam provides the cushioning that makes Air Jordans feel like you're walking on, air. Literally. The rubber for the outside is specially designed for grip, ensuring you won't slip whether you're on the court or dodging puddles on the street. Why does a sneaker need so many materials? It's all about combining durability, comfort, and style. Step 4. Cutting and preparing the components. At the factory, the first step is cutting the materials into the individual pieces that will form the shoe. This process involves highly precise machinery, which slices leather, fabric, and rubber into exact shapes. Think of it like a jigsaw puzzle, where every piece has to fit perfectly. After cutting, the components are prepped for assembly. Leather pieces are treated to ensure durability and a smooth finish, while fabric components are reinforced for extra strength. The rubber soles are molded into their final shape, complete with grooves for traction. Each piece undergoes inspection to ensure it meets Nike's strict standards. Step 5. Assembling the upper. The upper part of the shoe, the part that hugs your foot, is assembled next. This is where the factory floor gets busy. Workers sew the cut pieces of leather and fabric together with industrial strength stitching. Some parts, like the iconic swoosh logo, are heat sealed onto the material. This step requires a mix of machine precision and human skill. The stitching has to be flawless, not just for durability, but because sneakerheads will notice if the seams are even slightly off. The tongue, laces, and padding are added to complete the upper. But why does the stitching matter so much? Well, because when you're paying top dollar, every detail counts. Step 6. Midsole and outsole construction. The midsole is where the magic happens. This is where Nike's patented air technology comes into play. Those little air-filled units inside the sole aren't just for show. They absorb impact and provide cushioning, making each step feel bouncy. The midsole is crafted from foam, which is lightweight yet supportive. It's bonded to the outsole, which is made of durable rubber. The outsole is where the traction patterns are engraved, designed to keep you steady whether you're sprinting or styling. Once the midsole and outsoles are ready, they're glued to the upper. The bonding process involves heat and pressure to ensure the pieces fuse together seamlessly. Nike's air technology isn't just a marketing gimmick, it's literal science. The air units inside the sole are created using pressurized gas encased in a flexible, durable plastic shell. These units are so important that they're made in separate high-security facilities. And yeah, they're tested by simulating millions of steps to ensure they don't pop under pressure. Imagine the poor machine responsible for fake walking all day. It deserves its own paycheck. The rubber outsole is another feature of engineering. Each groove is carefully designed for maximum traction, whether you're doing a quick crossover on the court or, dodging a spilt latte. Ever notice the unique patterns on Jordan soles? Well, they're not just aesthetic. They're engineered for grip, flexibility, and stability. Step 7. Signature details and branding. No Air Jordan is complete without its signature details. The Jumpman logo is added using techniques like embroidery or heat transfer. The colorways and designs are meticulously painted or printed onto the shoe, adding that extra flair that makes each pair unique. For limited edition releases, special touches like numbered tags or unique materials are included. These extra details make collectors drool and drive up resale prices faster than a stock market rally. Step 8. Quality control. Here's where the factory turns into a sneaker detective agency. Every pair of Air Jordans goes through an intense quality control process. Machines test the shoes for flexibility, durability, and performance, while human inspectors check for cosmetic flaws. If a pair doesn't meet Nike's standards, it's rejected. That's right, Air Jordans have higher standards than most people's dating apps. So what happens to rejected sneakers? Well, they're either recycled or destroyed. No second chances in the world of high-end kicks, telling ya. Let's drop a bombshell. Not every Air Jordan makes it to the shelves. Factories often produce surplus pairs to account for potential defects. But these leftovers don't just vanish. They're stored in Nike's secret warehouses. Yeah, you heard that right. Actual temperature-controlled warehouses where unused Jordans sit untouched, sometimes for years. And also, here's another twist. Nike occasionally re-releases these dead stock pairs as limited edition retros. They don't tell anyone the shoes are from years ago. They market them as exclusive, creating an artificial scarcity that sends sneakerheads into a frenzy. So maybe next time you hear about a rare pair being discovered, remember, they've been sitting in a vault like treasure waiting to be unearthed. Step 9. Packaging. Once the shoes pass inspection, they're boxed up with the kind of care usually reserved for fine china. Each pair is wrapped in tissue paper and placed in an iconic Air Jordan box. Collectors often keep the boxes as part of the experience, so Nike ensures the packaging is just as premium as the product. Step 10. Shipping and distribution. Finally, the sneakers are shipped to retailers worldwide. This is where logistics teams take over, ensuring each box arrives arrives on time and, of course, in perfect condition. And then the real frenzy begins. Sneakerheads lining up, I'm talking lining up, setting alarms for online drops and bracing themselves for the dreaded sold out message. And that's how Air Jordans are made. From their legendary beginnings to their meticulous manufacturing process. Every stitch, every cut, and every detail reflects decades of innovation and craftsmanship. Whether you're a collector, a basketball fan, or just someone who loves a good-looking pair of kicks, hey, there's no denying the magic of Air Jordans.